Yeah.
That's a respectful thing.
You have to.
I almost threw food in your non-food trash can.
Oh, dude.
And you almost let me. It was funny.
Nightmare.
Ryan was like, yeah, throw it away. And that one. But, like, you didn't want me to, really. And I was like, wait, do you put food in there? And you were like, no. And I was like, all right, I won't do it then. Respect.
What's going on, people? We're back.
Tough times.
Episode 34.
Wow. That's like
It's another episode.
midlife, midlife crisis like number right
Speaking
there.
of midlife crisis, I was pulled over again.
It's only been 2-3 episodes since your last pullover.
I know. I probably could
Okay.
have talked about it in the last episode, too. I just forgot to mention it. But, yeah, I was pulled over.
What happened?
It's generally how that happens, too, for me. Like, I usually, like...
in 2s and 3s?
yeah. It's like, that's usually how it comes. Like, if I'm getting pulled over, I probably got another one coming up soon. But, yeah. Honestly, I dodged a pullover the other day. I had both my headlights out, and it was, like, dark outside.
You have a new car, man. How are your headlights out?
That's what I'm saying, man.
You have warranty?
Yeah, but it is a warranty, right?
What do you mean? You should use it if it's really real?
I mean, what am I?
Sometimes it's not
real.
real.
I don't know. I went out there, bought new bulbs, put them both in. I made it
yourself?
To this, yeah, well, it was dark. I drove to the store.
You did it yourself?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
very easy in the new car I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
you would think it's harder.
It was very hard in my last car. You had to take the tire off to do it.
Oh,
Dude, it was a nightmare.
that just sounds expensive.
Well, it's funny because like the last car I had was Japanese made. Now this car I have is like American made. So it was like kind of funny how it's just like I don't know why would they
Wait,
not?
What is Toyota's not American made?
Oh yeah, no. What is it?
I think it's also Japanese, isn't it? I think so.
Well, maybe they just figured it out not to put it in the wheel well. I mean,
What was your last car?
Mazda?
Oh, that's Japanese?
I don't know.
They're sporty.
Who?
Mazda
was a fun car, man.
Bro, they're like
Granted,
sport cars.
The passenger side kept building with moisture, but anyway, I was pulled over, like I was saying.
Moisture.
Yeah, it was weird puddles of moisture. Yeah.
Okay.
I paid some guy $50 to look at it one time. Dude, it was like the most bizarre $50 I ever spent. He just like
Mechanics.
he was like, "Yeah, man, it's wet under there." That's like what he told me, and then he was like, "I was like, oh," and he's like, "Yeah, that'll be 50." And I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah. He's like, I'll tell you the next secret for $50 more.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the doctor and he's like, "All right, well, just go home and take some NyQuil," and you're like,
Yeah.
right? And the copay is like 40, and you're like, "What?"
It's pretty wild
Yeah.
nowadays, yeah. Wait, so tell me what happened with this
Oh,
pullover.
man.
So what were you were
So we went out to Peps, me and
Peps
Yoder.
Pub?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yoder was with me, and man, we were just coming back, and I guess I was like a little tired, I guess, but I wasn't like, I'm alert. I'm pretty alert when I'm driving. I didn't drink. I had one shot at the bar. That was it.
when you got there?
Yeah, when I got there. So then, man, I'm just sitting there, and we're driving back, and I guess we hit a red light, and I checked my phone for a split second, peeped the GPS, make sure we're on the right route, and the green popped up out of the corner of my eye, and I went, and next thing you know, cops pulling up behind me, and I was like, I look at Yoder.
Did you see where he was the whole time or no?
I mean, I saw him pulling up behind me, and I was like,
But he was parked waiting.
I didn't see him parked, but I was like, I think that cop's coming for me, Yoder, and he was like, yeah.
No, you have that feeling.
So I pull into the diner there. There was a diner, and I immediately flicked the internal light on because it's dark outside. That's a glitch with cops. I learned that in the ride-along.
What?
Turn the internal light on when it's dark. You were with me one time when we did that.
A ride along?
No, when we got pulled over.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Oh, man.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get pulled over. We pull into the parking lot there. The cop comes up, And he goes, license, registration, the whole 10 yards. And I was like, I hit him with the whole, why are you pulling me over?
You just asked him that right off the bat?
Yeah, because, I want to know.
Like with the same tone you just said, or with
It was more like, hey, man, why are you pulling me over?
That's even worse. So you didn't keep it like, hey, sir, like, if I may ask, what made you pull me over?
I mean, there's no nice way to say it, You're in the situation, and you want to figure it out.
Okay, all right.
And
so you hit it with that.
Yeah, and he was just like, you blew that red light back there.
No beating around the bush.
Like, we were sitting
you.
right there. He's like,
Wow.
People die that way. And I was just like, okay,
You just said okay.
I was just like, I was just all in shock still, And then Yoder's just like, yeah, we're comedians. We were out.
I love that.
Yeah. And I was like,
plug.
yeah, and
if you're around next week, come through.
nah, and I was just like, how are you doing tonight? And he was just like, a lot better than you are. And then Yoder just starts cracking up, of course.
That was a good one.
And the cop's just staring at my license, and he's like, yeah, man. And I was just like, I actually got pulled over like 2 weeks ago in the same area for speeding. I said,
same area.
Yeah, I was like, I actually can't take another ticket right now, man. I said, I'm really sorry, and I've been working on my driving.
I've been working on my driving.
Dude, and then Yoder that's cracking up, and he goes, you've been working on your driving? It's just like.
Did the cop laugh?
The cop was just like, he's like, ah, man.
He sighed?
He sighed, and then he just like handed me my license back. Which was expired too, by the way.
Your license is
expired?
expired?
It's still expired. I haven't gotten it done yet.
How long was it been?
Oh, dude, since September. Yeah. Crazy, right? It's January.
So wait,
now.
last time did the officer say anything to you?
No. He didn't even say anything about that.
That's so crazy.
I know, right?
I mean, it's good for you, but that's pretty wild they didn't say that.
Dude, not even the liquor store says anything. I know. Look at me. I look like I'm 10. I'm in the liquor store just buying bottles. Like I could have been doing this since I was like 15.
They don't fully read that stuff, though.
It's just all about the conversation and the panache when you're walking in there.
Dude, I recognize somebody from our school who
But anyway,
works
yeah,
there.
the cop just let me go. No ticket.
That only happens in the life of Ryan. Rinz.
Dude, it's crazy, man.
Only in the life of
It was
Ryan.
so
Rinz.
crazy. I was
How
like,
did he
I was
let
like,
you
oh
go?
my god. I was like, I think it was Yoder, honestly.
Oh,
He was like, oh, he's probably with his father or something.
I guess it did look.
He asked me if I had been drinking. He's like, were you drinking? I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, nah, man, I haven't been drinking.
And he believed you. He was just like, all right.
I said, all I had was a shot.
On that note,
Yeah.
All right, no chaser.
Look like you're trying to seduce the camera.
Just showing you I can hang.
Yeah.
For the second round.
You a free bird? Oh man.
Wow, that one like really gives something down your like esophagus. You can follow it all the way down.
Did we ever tell the story of the free bird?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That was a classic moment in time we
It
will
was.
never forget.
No.
It was a milestone in your comedy career.
It was.
if I may say.
Sugar Daddy tried to kidnap me.
Yeah, he and you know what was really funny was like, you know how Anthony has that joke that he does there about like
Barone?
Yeah, about like the older dude fall in love with him and he pays his bills and stuff like that. It was so funny because like, I feel like you just did that joke that night, and then all of a sudden you've got a sugar daddy like trying to seduce you the same night.
I was like, I'm already with him.
I've never seen Ryan latch on to me so hard. Like he literally grabbed my shoulder, almost dislocated it. He's like, "Don't leave me."
I was like, let's get out of here.
That's what that guy was thinking.
Yeah.
All right, wait. So, okay, let's just not glaze over the fact that you got away from this clean.
I ran a red. Hey, yo, and
You
honestly,
ran a red light. That's like
what's
3
also pretty
points.
funny is he was like, "You ran a red light," and you know what I said? No, I didn't.
You said that?
Yeah, I said no, I didn't.
And
he was just like, "You did," and I was like, "I don't think I did." It was like a little back and forth. It was like an Abbott and Costello bit, you know. We were just back and forth for a second there, and then eventually,
Did he get mad?
No, I think he handed me my license back mainly because he was like, I'm not entirely sure if it was a red light.
You fooled him.
Because he was like, well, there's a green yield. And I was like, nah, I got the green light.
Green yield, what does that mean?
I was like, dude, I was paying attention. I was like, there's no way I ran a red light. And then he was
You're
just,
sure?
I was like pretty sure, and then I asked Yoder, and he was like, I don't know. Like he asked Yoder.
He said he didn't know.
Dude, it was wild. He asked Yoder. The cop asked Yoder, and Yoder was like, I was on my phone the whole time.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, I may have said the same thing. I'm like, I'm not getting involved.
I think I might have asked Yoder, actually. I was like, Yoder, did I run that? He's like, I was on my phone the whole time. I was like...
But I mean, his alibi would have counted for something, I think.
I was just really apologetic. I was really sorry. I was trying to explain
it didn't sound like
I was
it.
just like...
In the beginning, you did sound sorry.
I was pretty apologetic to the guy the whole time. I was like, I'm so sorry.
He went to the car and gave you that whole...
He didn't even go to the car. Bro, he stood there, looked at my license, handed it right back. I could have been a fugitive.
Wow, he didn't even look you up?
Could have been a fugitive.
You know why? You told
Yoder
him.
and I actually robbed a bank that night.
You told him that you got pulled over 2 weeks ago, so he didn't need to look you up. You know what I mean? That's what.
What do you mean he didn't need to look me up?
I mean, that's what he's trying to find
He's
out.
like, oh, you got pulled over 2 weeks ago. I believe you.
Wow,
That's what he did?
Why would you tell him that? Of course, he'd probably believe you, because, like, why would you reveal that you got pulled over? Like, nobody lies about that as, like,
I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe that's my whole stick now, you know? I'm just going to pull that out every time I'm, like, getting chased down.
It is pretty funny to see what you do every time you get pulled over. We should have, like,
Dude,
fan
I've been
suggestions.
Pulled over so many times now.
Wait, can we do this? We can have a caller call in on what they want you to do next time you get pulled over, and you have to do one of it.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yes, we have to make you do one of it.
I know how to get out of the ticket, miss, but by being me. So I have to just ride that route. I'm like 13-2 against the cops in that.
It's pretty crazy. You are pretty
I
ahead.
did catch 3 speeding tickets in 1 month back in Bloomsburg one time. It was all for going like 35 and like
state
25.
State trooper or
it was Bloomsburg like police, and one was a statey, and like only one of them like gave me a ticket, so I was 2-1 against them.
What did they do the other 2 times? Just let you go?
Yeah, they were just like drive carefully, you know, stop speeding.
It's unbelievable. The time I got pulled over with you, same thing. He had the your headlight
out.
Headlight out.
Speeding. It was headlight out.
His headlight out was out for probably 2 years, and you had gotten pulled over like 10 times in that
I don't
span.
have 2 years. But
it was pretty long, to the point where you had been told and you still didn't like switch it out, and every time people would tell you and you'd be like, yeah, I'm working on it, you know, working on my driving, and they'd believe you. It's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
I watched it happen. I was sweating bullets, man. I was like, my life is over. I was in the passenger seat.
Man, you were staring at that shot glass. You were like, don't pour me one.
I
saw it in his eyes. You know, he's like, I can't straight face the camera any longer. Said I'll be in that Dr. Pepper in a second.
Oh yeah, I'd have to be really thirsty to have some Dr.
Dude,
Pepper.
what were you saying before the show? You said there was something.
Oh yes, so I got to tell you about, and we got to have a call in for this because I want to hear people's suggestions on this, right? So
what's up with doing callings? You're a calling guy now.
Yeah, we got do
the hotline.
We got a hotline.
We secured the hotline.
You want to give them the number?
I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, what should we just give it to him?
Of course.
We'll just have it running like that.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah,
who's gonna call in?
Someone, hopefully.
I think we just might get a bunch of prank phone callers. Like, what if somebody just calls in and just starts farting in line?
Nobody has to hear it. Only we know.
Damn. But what if we get like 100 phone calls?
And we'll reveal them if they do.
Wow, yeah.
There's caller ID nowadays, so
caller ID nowadays.
Watch yourself.
All right. Well,
but don't be intimidated. Submit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have to give the number, but you can.
I'll put it in the right here.
All right. You'll put it in.
It's coming right here.
Wonderful. Okay.
So when you give a number out verbally, it's just like, you know, let me get a pen and paper. You know, it's like
true. Okay.
Might as well just give it to him on the screen.
Should we put it in the description?
I'll put it in the description too.
I'll do that too.
Okay.
On that. Okay. Cool. So basically, one of my friends, right? They bought a home. Okay. They're a teacher. They're making a good living now. They're also like working a second job, all that stuff. Got a house finally. It's a row home, right? So their houses are connected. Now, her and her boyfriend, they smoke cigarettes, right? Mm-hmm. So part of that, like,
they smoke them inside or out?
So they smoke.
It's cold, so they smoke them inside.
It's cold now.
Yeah, because like they're like, no, I'm not stepping outside for a cigarette when it's cold.
Yeah, like they could go in the garage or whatever, right? But they don't. They'll go to just in the basement.
I have a friend who smokes inside all the time, man. It's just like,
It is.
It's almost aggressive to go over there because like after I go there, my clothes are almost destroyed.
Have you ever been to a pool hall?
Well, dude, it's like the open mic. It's like Pep's Pub.
Oh, it's a pool hall there.
Pretty much, yeah. You go up to Pep's Pub, man. People are smoking inside still. Cigars, everything inside still.
It's amazing how they can do that.
It's so crazy. It's so off the grid out there, man. It's crazy. And beer is still pretty cheap out there.
Well, they make it like Yingling and stuff,
it's like
right?
$2.50 for a beer.
That's unheard of nowadays.
It's crazy, man.
Unheard.
Shots are like $3, $4.
Dude, it's like $10 for a beer. When
you can buy a round for like 5 people with a $20 bill. It's crazy. You're just like, all right, I got it for everybody.
Oh yeah, you could be like the power player of the night.
You feel like
there.
the government when you're giving out that many shots.
Yeah, you feel like the dudes giving out Red Bull. You remember Red Bull? Like they had trucks giving them out.
There used to be those. It was like skateboarding shows when I was a kid. But anyway, you were talking this
X Games.
Yeah, it was like the X Games shows over at the mall.
Which, by the way, I put my Vans on the other day that I like gave up for these shoes, and I was like, oh, why did I stop wearing these? They're so comfy.
Really?
They're easier to get on than these. That's the
Funny
thing.
you mentioned that. I actually ordered a pair of Chucks offline the other day.
Chucks, I feel, are uncomfortable.
They're very uncomfortable, but like I used to have a pair when I was younger, and I liked them.
I like the lower ones, not the high.
No, I got a nice pair of leather highs.
Leather.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So wait, let's go back to.
So you're telling the story.
Yeah. So
they don't like it's cold outside, so they're smoking cigs inside.
they're smoking cigs inside, right?
Ugh.
Everything's normal.
My mom used to smoke cigs inside.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad smokes cigs too, but he smokes cigs in the basement.
My
yeah.
grandmother
inside.
actually told me a story. She was saying, I mentioned like. I was talking to her about how people used to smoke cigs inside. She was like, that's nothing. She's like, I used to go to the grocery store. They had ashtrays on the cart. Imagine being at the grocery store. Everyone's in there smoking cigarettes, shopping around.
Dude,
isn't that wild?
Like just blowing it on the vegetables and stuff.
Dude, she's like, you'd be like picking up like a loaf of bread and somebody'd be like putting a cigarette out on the aisle, you know?
My gosh.
Like, what a wild world. It's like the Wild West.
Dude, work was like that. Think about that. At work, you had ashtrays because everybody would smoke.
Yeah.
Restaurants. Like,
I wonder
that
when
was
drinking
like,
and driving became illegal, you know? People probably drinking and driving.
It had to have gotten
like,
really out of hand.
They were like, you know what? This is getting crazy.
It had to have gotten really crazy.
People
for them
just
to
getting
do that.
hammered driving around.
Is it illegal to do that in other countries?
I have no idea. You
Like-
would know more than I know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I feel like in other countries, you just get your head chopped off if that happens.
Oh, yeah? Wow. You think it's like that in other
Dude,
places?
if you drink in some
Nobody's
places,
getting their heads cut off still, huh?
I mean, we don't hear about it. I mean. That's happening. You know, it doesn't make the news, Apple News. You know, I don't know about that. But okay. Anyway, so basically, they're smoking cigs inside, right? And she comes home one day, and her neighbor, who usually like in that neighborhood, they pick up packages for each other, like so people don't jack it and stuff. And you know, she'll be like, "Hey, you got a package," and drop it off for them, right? So there's been a little tension the past week or two. Like she's been noticing there's something's off, right? And so now she finally goes, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" And now everything's going through your head, probably like, what does my neighbor want to actually talk to me about? You know, like what could go wrong? And so she goes, "Hey, like, so I wanted to talk to you."
Yeah, it's like when your parents like shoot you a text when you're younger, and they're like, "We got to talk." And you're you're like, "What?"
I never, like that.
Yeah, you probably never had that, huh?
No, I had that.
Oh yeah, it was the worst.
Remember when the emblems?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got that call on the emblems.
Yeah.
Come home right now. Oh man,
your dad's terrifying too.
I pedaled home
Yeah.
so fast. You were there that day too.
Of course.
That's pretty crazy.
They were like,
there for
"Which
that.
way did he go?" I was like, "I think he was white. He went that way."
You were there with the person who snitched too.
Yeah,
I
she
feel.
snitched. She was like, "It was Misbah." I was like, I think it was Mike. That way. Homeschooled.
Oh, you're right,
No,
dude.
yeah,
That's so funny. You remember that?
Uh.
Wow. Okay. So, anyways, so the woman, she goes like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something." So the smoke, it's coming through the walls, and our nose has been bleeding from it.
Dude, those people are the most absurd.
Ridiculous.
Now, dude, wild.
It's not true.
I've
Coming
heard something
through the
like that, bro.
walls?
I've heard something similar to this. I was up at college. My buddy, I don't know if I should name drop him. I won't. Keep him protected. But he was smoking cigarettes in his house, his rental. He doesn't care, you know. He's like, whatever. I'm smoking cigs inside. Don't give a shit, you know. And again, it's like you go to his house. I would never want to chill there because you're leaving there smelling like cigarettes. You know, it's like
Yeah.
You know?
Your eyes burn. Everything.
Yeah, dude, it's from cigarettes, and it's just disgusting. And anyway, so he was smoking inside his house. He had a military hype neighbor, right? This guy was in the military, right?
Yeah, that whole neighborhood is like, police force.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So he was with So this guy knocked on. We're sitting in there playing video games the one day. My homie's got a cigarette in his mouth, man, just fucking chiefing it while we're playing. And we're playing like Madden or something, and he knocked at the door. He goes to answer the door, and this dude's like, "Yo, can I talk to you for a minute?" And it was like the neighbor from next door. And it's like this dude. He's like, white dude, slim cut, looks like he's in the military, right? He's like 6 foot something. He's like built like a unit,
Yeah,
strong. And I go out there with him because I'm like, what's going on here? And he's like, "Yo, man, you got to stop smoking inside. It's coming through the door." There was like a door in between the apartments, but it was like blocked off, obviously.
Okay, so it wasn't through the wall; it was through the door.
But it's like kind of through the wall. It's like you never
Sure.
go into a hotel and you get the
Shared one.
Yeah, you get a shared one, but it's like those doors are both locked. It's like
Yeah.
you guys both have to unlock them to get access.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of what it was
College
like.
dorms
But
were
he
like
had that
that.
blocked. It was blocked, sealed off, and everything. And the guy goes, "My girlfriend's developing allergies," or something like that. And like he's like, "Dude, developing allergies from cigarettes?" He's like, "Bro." He's like, "Get the hell out of here!" And
From
like,
secondhand
so
smoke.
dude just goes on the violence end. He's just like, "Bro, I'm in the military." He's like, "I'll break both of your legs and toss you over this railing if you don't stop smoking in your house." That's what he said to him right there. And then I'm just like, I'm smaller than this guy, right? Much smaller. I'm not like anywhere compared to this guy as a unit. And he's got military training and shit. So I looked this guy. I said, "Chuck," I said, "Give me a second, man. Let me talk to this guy." I looked at him. I said, "Look, man." I said, "Honestly, if you're gonna break my legs, I suggest you do it now."
Wait, you jumped in and said that?
Yeah.
But he wasn't even talking to you.
But he was like talking to my friend, and it was just like, I'm outside of his house, right?
Right,
and I'm just
right.
like, "Look, man, if you're gonna break our legs, do it right now. I want you to do it
What'd he say?
because I'm gonna get a nice fat check when I sue you, for assault."
Of
I
course,
said,
the lawyer card. Ryan had.
Yeah, I was like, "You're not gonna just sue." I was like, "You're not just gonna break both of our legs, and let alone," I said, "you're gonna lose your spot in the military, and then you're gonna go off on some weird ass bender and maybe, I don't know, either commit suicide or do something else."
You said all that?
Yeah. And I said, "If you really want to get into this, man, we'll call the police right now. We can get into it,
That's hilarious.
I said, "Let me know if I should call." And they had the same landlord too,
Yeah.
because like they're in the same complex. And he just like went back inside and never said anything again. That was the end of it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like, dude, like the ball's in our court, man. Like you just threatened us now.
Yeah. Right. So isn't that, first of all, I called BS on that, right? Because
Hey, you have to call the BS because like, they're just making things up at that point. I mean,
nosebleed, bro.
you're
Nosebleed.
not developing a nosebleed from smoke.
Do you know what you get nosebleeds from? High heat.
Yeah.
In the winter. When you turn up the heat, that dries out your nose.
Yeah.
So you can't blame. It's like it was one of those things where she slipped it in and paired it with another problem that was unrelated. So you can't say anything.
What's the situation of the house? Is it like a...
It's a 2-story like townhouse, row home, whatever you want to call it, right? There's a garage. Basically, where they are in the basement, here's the weird part, right? Where they are in the basement, like they're not even up against that wall or anything like that. It's kind of like on the farther side, and it's a pretty big basement. So that's where it's like, are they making it up, or does it truly go through the walls? Is that possible?
I don't think that's possible.
Because walls are thick, man.
Well, atoms. If we get scientific with it,
Sure,
there's
molecules.
small spaces in between these atoms.
There's a lot of millions of atoms.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be able to penetrate through, technically, right? So I don't know.
No. I would say no, but I think that they are BSing.
Yeah. So
But
okay.
at the same time is that it's like they can't just be like out of nowhere being like, "Hey man, it smells like smoke over here,"
Right. So
and not be smelling anything,
And bro, here's the other thing. If it's a rental, that's one thing. If you own the house and it's your property,
Are they renting?
no, they own the house.
Who does?
This my friend.
But yeah, the people who are complaining.
I don't know. They're probably own it, but you never know. Maybe they are renting. But here's the thing. Regardless, a person who owns a house who is smoking
Dude, even then,
owns it.
I would like to bring a lawyer in for this almost. I'd like to call a lawyer and get like an answer.
But
on
here's
this,
the thing. It's sensitive, Ryan. This is where we have to get the callers in on this, okay? Because what do you do now? You can make it weird between the neighbors, right? Because first of all, you said you would call bullshit, right? Here's what happened.
I'd maybe invest in that. I don't know. If they really like smoking inside, I'd maybe get some crazy sort of purifiers.
That's what I said. I said. I said purifier, candle. There are things out there you can do.
Yeah.
But here's where the mistake was. You said that you would call BS, right? She didn't do that. She over apologized. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm never gonna smoke again. She said, I'm never gonna smoke again. And she's like, afterwards,
cigarettes, huh?
yeah, afterwards, she's just literally like, wait, I am gonna do that later. Like, how do I tell her that that's not really what I meant? You know, because she already said like, now it's about if it happens again. Basically, it's kind of like, is she gonna be mad? What's that confrontation gonna look like, right? So you can't really...
I think it's a lot of he said, she said. Because, like, okay, well, they own the house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what if they do? I mean, like, they call the cops come, they just don't have to answer the door. Or two...
Well, that's if you're Ryan Rinz, I feel.
Yeah, legally, you don't have to answer the door.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do? Kick your door in because it smells like cigarettes in the neighbor's house? No.
Right.
So, I mean, like, dude, it's like they have no valid complaint.
Here's the thing, though. Aside from it being a legal thingy, right? It's more so, or like legally you're disrupting my property or my neighbor, like whatever. It's more so the friendliness. Like you're friendly with your neighbor right now.
Of course.
And
it's one of the 10 commandments. Love thy neighbor.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder.
You know, I'm very religious.
Yeah,
Ask my work.
So if that's the case, do you risk the relationship with the neighbor by just continuing to smoke and giving them nosebleeds, right? Like, how do you go about that? Would you say, hey, because here's the thing, they have the number. She could text her and be like, hey, I'm calling BS on your nosebleeds or whatever.
I wouldn't even say that. I would just keep on keeping on.
You would just continue as if nothing happened. Now, tell me this. What if there's another confrontation? What if she said something?
I'd be more precautious about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess, like, I don't know. I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't. It's my house. I bought it.
That's what I'm saying.
Smoking in my house.
That's
Move
what
along, people.
Like,
sorry. You know?
I don't even care.
That's what I'd be like, sorry.
Yeah. I'm not even defending, like, the act of smoking there. I'm just kind of like, you own the home. You should absolutely get to do that if you want to.
Of course.
There's no question.
You own the home.
Yeah. It's on your property. You're saying it's coming through the walls. I mean, how can you prove that?
How feasible that is.
How can you prove that, right? There are a million things that can give you nosebleeds that's not smoke. You'd have to be inhaling a lot of smoke, I think, to get a nosebleed. Every person who smokes cigarettes would have nosebleeds all the time, if that was true.
I wish we could set up some sort of situation where we could go to the apartment where they're claiming the smell is coming from, and we could sit there and see.
I would love to do that if they allowed us to. That would be amazing.
That'd be a fun time.
But I would love to hear. Call the hotline, and if you've been a tenant in this situation, or you've been a landlord in this situation, or a homeowner.
Yeah, we could talk to a landlord about this.
Yeah, I would love to.
Jay Yoder.
He's a landlord?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I want to hear. But does he own? Here's the
I don't know.
situation.
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, you're right. I know another landlord, but we could talk to a few people. I would like to ask some people about this and see what they would do or say. Or, I mean, like, honestly, it's your house, your rules. That's how it works, in my opinion.
Okay, well, tell me this now, though. If you have a rental, if it's a rental, how do you work the situation? Is it different?
Yeah, kind of. Because, like,
yeah, it's not
one,
yours.
it's like it pertains to the lease. If the lease says you can smoke in it, then...
But no lease says you can smoke.
Of course,
in
nobody wants you to smoke in their house.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you buy the house, you can smoke in your house, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to smoke in your house.
I guess, like, technically, if it's not paid off, maybe the bank could say something. But
dude, it's like smoking cigars in your house, you know? It's just like, people do that.
Well, they do that. They were doing, like, cigarettes, cigars, whatever, and that's
They'll black them out when they're drinking, smoking one inside?
I think more of those Cuban, or not Cuban,
the bigger ones?
thicker ones. But, like, when you're doing that, man, that's so strong. That's so strong.
Yeah, like, I mean, I would never smoke a cigar inside my house. But, like, I mean, at the same time, I mean, like, when we were in college, man, we were smoking cigars in the house all the time when we were playing cards.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So it was just like, whatever.
So was it a row home? Because this is the distinction if you call in.
Yeah, he would complain because we'd play poker at the one dude's house. That was the guy who would complain. It was like, dude, at the end of the day, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? You want us to
play poker, you got to let us smoke.
You should have presented this nicer, and we would have been obliged better, you know?
That's the thing. There's no way to present it nicer, dude.
Of course not. It's like when you ask the cop, why'd you pull me over? You know?
Yeah.
There's no good way to talk about that. You're like, hey, man, why are you pulling me over? I want to know. It's late and I'm trying to get home, you know?
It's aggressive right away. And
of
here's
course,
the thing.
It's very confrontational.
Now it's very confrontational if she says anything. Like, if my friend says anything to the neighbor.
You can't say anything.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's gonna happen again. So what do? That's a tough time.
You set your neighbor's house on fire. No.
You get rid. That's like an Ozark.
You get
rid of the neighbor. Yeah.
That's what you do.
You buy a funeral home.
Yeah.
You get rid of the neighbor.
You call a hitman. You have him set up something.
Dude, great show. I can't wait to do spoilers on Ozark once it's like done. Maybe one more episode and then we can talk about it.
It makes me angry that it's they did that gap in between.
Yeah. It's not
I
cool.
did see a tweet somewhere too. It was like, all it is just some hick chick running around saying, "Give me my money."
Wait, you saw it?
I saw a tweet saying that.
What, the last one?
That's what it said. Like, I don't like Ozark because it's just some hick chick running around saying, "Give me my money."
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I was like, wow, that's so true.
That's so fun. That's such a hilarious generalization.
It is, though, you know?
That's like, there is a lot more to the show than
There's
just
a lot
that.
more to that, yeah.
Dude, Jason Bateman in that is
Yo, I like
brilliant.
The kid, man. What's the kid's name? Noah?
Jonah.
Dude, he's cool.
He's a pretty good actor.
Dude, he's like laundered money. He's 14 years old.
The cool thing for him is like he's gone through puberty on the show. The whole world has watched him go through
that's
puberty.
What's wild, yeah.
Like his voice is changing, dude. You're like, you can't help but notice that. You're like, oh my God.
He's older.
So can you imagine when you hire
took that
them?
amount of time off to let that happen?
No. Oh, to let him like go taller and
get
stuff?
older, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just a complicated show to put together
You know,
in general.
in the
but-
show Lost, somebody told me this. You know the little kid? What's the kid's name? The black dude. Walt and his kid.
I know who you're talking about.
The kid's name was
dude.
Walt, I think.
No, Walt is the dad.
Walt's the dad. Anyway, the kid. You know who I'm talking about, though?
Yeah.
He actually had to
you're
get
right.
written off the show because he aged too fast.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard
That's what
that
I
and it
was
blew my
thinking about,
mind.
man. You have to hire when you cast them. You have to kind of time it correctly if they're gonna be.
Yeah,
going,
they have to shoot those scenes quickly, or else like their actor's gonna get too old. It was like Macaulay Culkin. You know, they probably wanted to shoot another Home Alone with him, and they were just like, oh, he's like a little old now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to summer camp, guys. It's like, just do it on air. You know, I don't know. That's like that's a weird thing to be involved in, I guess. Like, he's on one of the biggest shows ever, which is great, and he could do probably whatever he wants.
this?
The dude, Jonah, that
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
technically, like he can probably do whatever he wants now.
That's cool. He's
as he
giving
gets
you a lot of
older.
opportunities, yeah, and you'd be like, oh, that's the kid from Ozark, you know.
But dude, Jason Bateman probably like crushes it.
Aziz has a new special out.
Huh?
You see that?
No. Where?
Yeah, somewhere. I think it's on Netflix.
New comedy special?
Yeah.
Really?
I caught a clip of it, dude.
It's funny?
My God, it was hilarious.
Is it in a theater? Where's it shot?
Oh, dude, it's like a local, like.
Really? I
personal
love
joint.
that.
Dude, it was so good.
I like that better.
Dude, he had a joke about Aaron Rodgers, and I was cracking up.
Oh, the football.
Yeah.
That's funny. Wait, so this is new. He must have, because he just dropped something like about 2 years ago, technically, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you come see that with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting way back.
Yeah,
I sat further back. Misbah at a time, you know, he's just like flexing his money on me. He's like, you know, I'd be like, yeah, man, should we buy tickets? I was like, I get us all 4 right now. He's like, I'm not sure yet. And then the next day he's like, yo, I bought mine. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And like it was just, I guess it wasn't like to offend me or anything because he's buying tickets way up close. Like Miz was sitting up front and I'm sitting like on the 5th level. But
dude,
you know.
the difference was $5 in the ticket.
right.
It set you back literally 15 rows.
Yeah,
that was a
right?
good show, though. That
It
was like
was, yeah.
fresh off his.
I think it was a good show as far as I could see, you know.
There was the remember there was a deaf person in the audience and they had a
he was ripping
translator.
on that, yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
That's an easy riff, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's just funny, like I know,
Quite hacky. No, I'm
but
just kidding.
you have to do it because
I know,
everybody's
you have
thinking
to.
it.
You have to.
You're like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, of course.
You know?
You're like, what's this lady doing? Huh?
Yeah, you start paying attention to that way more.
It's almost like crazy too, because it's like if only like one deaf person goes to that show,
You have to.
They're losing money on the
Yeah.
interpreter, right?
Yeah, but like,
right? I mean, like it
can't
costs
say
more to
that.
get the interpreter than it is for them to pay that ticket, right?
Well, if me or you did a show, our whole budget would go into the interpreter. We'd have to get a friend in who like kind of knows.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Aziz can afford it, man. He's got like, tour bus, this and that. For him, you don't feel as bad. You're like, oh, you should have an interpreter.
Right.
For us, it would break our career.
You get like a half-ass interpreter, and like she's like missing all the punchlines.
Oh, that would suck,
The
dude.
deaf dude's telling all his deaf friends, he's like, that's not funny.
Can you imagine? That would be terrible. Can you imagine being big in the deaf community? Like, that's your family.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like...
That's a niche, man. I don't know.
How does that work? You know, do you think they have deaf news where it's just like some
How do
guys
they
doing
do
sign?
that?
I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
dude, no, closed
caption.
caption. Wow, that was like a really dumb moment there.
Yeah, that was stupid. I was testing you, actually.
Yeah, that's how's it looking there? I'm so blind, man.
Oh, well,
35?
yeah.
Wow, it's been 35 minutes?
Yeah, that's going to do it for us.
All right. Memories
We're
almost
gonna
about
wrap
to
that
run
up.
out.
I'm going to take a
I'll take a
shooter.
fake one with you.
Look, you're
All right.
taking a fake shot. Don't take the fake
Don't
shot.
tell him it's
don't
fake.
you patronize
They
me.
can't see
Look at him. He's got
it.
nothing in his cup.
Chaser. It's been a tough time. I love how you have the mini cans. Healthy cans.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I don't want to... I'm not obese, you know? That's what
8
it
ounce,
says.
100 calories. That's a draw.
Like and subscribe.
Rate, review, like, and subscribe. Drop a comment. Oh, hit the hotline with this whole thing. Let us know about your experience.
Hit the hotline.
With the smoke. If you're a tenant, you're
What's going on?
You rent, you own. Let us know what's
Also,
going
check
on.
out Tough Times 2. TOO. Because other people are having tough times.
2.
Yep.